Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kevin Greenwood. I'm the Joan Danforth Curator of Asian Art at the Allen Memorial Art Museum at Oberlin College. I've been looking forward to doing this talk for quite some time. It was scheduled to be a live talk, one of our Tuesday teas. But of course, things have changed during the pandemic, so I'm doing it as a recorded video for you. However, you can pause the video at this moment, go get yourself some tea and cookies, and enjoy them while we're doing this virtual Tuesday tea. I'm talking today about a painting called Auspicious Still Life. It's just given a sort of descriptive title. And it was on view before we closed, and it will be on view again after we reopen. It's a very interesting and very complicated painting. And so today I'm going to try to introduce some of the symbolism seen on that painting. However, before we get into today's topic, I'd like to briefly address a very disturbing trend happening during this pandemic crisis that we all are going through, but experiencing in sometimes very different ways. And I'm referring to the dramatic dramatic rise in reported harassment, discrimination, and violent attacks on Asians and people of Asian descent in North America and Europe. Xenophobia and racism are compounded in a climate of fear, but these current fears about health and economic instability exist in a cultural climate that's already steeped in polarization that is really cynically nurtured and promoted. I assume no one interested in this talk is part of the problem. You can be part of working toward a solution. The links provided with this video are certainly a place to start. So for today's talk, what I'd like to do is start with a little bit of the background to how I discovered the painting in storage and began to research it. Then I'd like to talk a little bit about a very important yearly festival in China called the Dragon Boat Festival. And then finally, I'd like to go through the painting systematically and interpret the sort of complex and interlinked symbols seen on it. So this is the painting. This is why we're here today. The painting is titled Auspicious Still Life. Auspicious, of course, means something that's lucky or promotes good fortune. And I think the name was given to it as a kind of descriptive title because when it came into the collection, I think people didn't really know what it was all about. Um, So one thing that museum people are guilty of, myself included, is when we look at the label associated with an artwork, one of the first things we do is look at what's called the credit line, right? So that's the line at the bottom that indicates when the work came into the collection and who was the donor or what fund it was purchased from, that kind of thing. And so if you notice at the bottom of the what we call the tombstone information about the work, which is the artist, the title, the date, all that kind of stuff. You'll notice that this was a gift to the Allen from a man named Charles Freer. Now, Charles Lang Freer, who lived from 1854 to 1919, he was one of the foremost American collectors, connoisseurs of Asian art in the early decades of the 20th century. Freer was inspired by the ideals of the aesthetic movement, which argued that art should be appreciated for its beauty alone, divorced from any moral, historical, or ideological concerns, and that art could elevate society, providing an alternative to crass materialism. This idealistic impulse motivated Freer to donate artworks to university museums like the Allen, and then finally to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., where the Freer Gallery bears his name and makes his vast collection of art available to the public as what is now the U.S. National Collection of Asian Art, combined with the Sackler collection. In fact, before we closed and after we reopened, there's a small exhibition in the ambulatory, just as you walk in the door to the right, that's called Monkeys, Apes, and Mr. Freer. 3 paintings that were also donations by Mr. Freer in that 1912 gift, all 3 of which include images of apes or monkeys. One of the paintings, the one in the upper left, called Street Entertainer, was recently conserved, totally restored, with a grant from the Sumitomo Foundation from Japan. So really excited to be able to bring that out on view. So when I first came to the Allen and began to research the collection, looking through all the paintings and other works of art in storage, I found this painting and immediately knew it was a fascinating painting, right? A collection of all kinds of auspicious symbols and uh, visual puns, rebuses, things like that are so much a part of Chinese art and symbolism. And started to look at it, and I noticed that at the top were a series of what I could see were Taoist talismans, sort of protective spells, written spells. And then below, a collection of objects, flowers in a vase, a little platform with a woman and child, and pine trees, scholars' rocks, an incense burner, fruits and plants of all kinds. And so looking at it, I realized it was a collection of these lucky symbols, auspicious symbols that are visual puns, rebuses, things like that. And so I did what any good historian of Chinese art would do. Went immediately to this wonderful book, Hidden Meanings in Chinese Art, by Teresa Bartholomew, who was a curator at the San Francisco Asian Art Museum. And it's the go-to encyclopedia of this very elaborate symbolic language in the visual arts in China. And I began paging through it and sort of cross-referencing and trying to find some of the things in the painting. And I soon realized that they all had something in common. All of the symbols on the painting, or many of the symbols, related to an important annual festival, annual holiday in China, in English, called the Dragon Boat Festival, sometimes called the Double Fifth Festival, or in Chinese, Duanwujie. This year it is celebrated on June 25th, and it's a very important festival. So the most colorful part of the Dragon Boat Festival, and what gives its name in English, are these amazing, exciting dragon boat races that are held in relation to the festival. The dragon boats are these long, brightly painted, very very slim boats that have a dragon head carved on the bow, and are rowed by a bunch of rowers, and it's always a big community event. This is a photograph from Hong Kong in 2017, but the dragon boat races have really caught on globally. Here's a video that I took in Portland, Oregon in 2013. The stunning victory of Portland Community College, crushing its opponents.
Unofficially, first place, PCC Den Dragons.
Nicely done. Although the historical development of the Dragon Boat Festival is pretty complicated and different in different regions in China, the modern interpretation of the history of the festival, and usually the stories connected with it, relate to a figure named Chu Yuan, the historical figure. He was a poet and a politician in the ancient kingdom of Chu during the Warring States period. Forced into exile by slander at a corrupt court, he dedicated himself to writing poetry, some lamenting that his advice was not taken by the king. And of course, the kingdom of Chu was conquered by the Qin state in their march to unifying the country as the first empire. One version of his story suggests that after learning of the fall of his kingdom, he committed suicide, walking into the Miluo River carrying a heavy stone. So according to the legend, the local villagers quickly rowed their boats out to rescue Chu Yuan, but they were too late. And they realized that the fish would eat him, and they thought this was, offensive. So to keep the fish from eating his body, this beloved poet, they wrapped rice balls in cloth to help the rice sink to the bottom of the river. Now, both of these, the racing boats, the villagers racing out in boats, and also the rice balls wrapped in cloth, memorialized by obviously the dragon boat races, but also by this wonderful treat called zongzi, which is basically wrapped up. Some of them are savory, some of them are sweet, but it's sticky rice with a filling wrapped up in banana leaves and then steamed. Now, the festival is also known, the Dragon Boat Festival is also known as the Double Fifth Festival because it occurs on the fifth day of the fifth month. But it is not Cinco de Mayo, amigos. It is the fifth day of the fifth lunar month in the traditional Chinese calendar. This date, near the summer solstice, is believed to be the one day of the year when malevolent forces in the universe were at their strongest. Something that I feel is suggested by this very clever parody of the monsters from the Alien movie series, painted in the style of modern Chinese painter Qi Baishi. This image appeared on Weibo on the internet in 2013. Unfortunately, I was unable to find the name of the artist. Another thing that people did traditionally during the Dragon Boat Festival, and as a way of protecting against these malevolent forces, was to hang out what art historians refer to as apotropaic or protective images. And these were, paintings or prints that had images of, powerful protective deities or other symbols. And the painting that is our focus today is one of these paintings. And it's a subject that's called Duanujie painting or Duanu Huati. And so what I'd like to start doing now is just sort of clicking through step by step, looking at all the different symbols related to the festival that are seen on this painting. And we will start at the very top. The top of the painting has a series of four, what are called in English Taoist talismans. So these are a part of the Taoist tradition. In China, Taoism is one of the indigenous religions of China. And these talismans were written by a Taoist priest. Only priests were consecrated to be able to write these. They're kind of magic spells, I guess you'd say, written out, known as fulu in Chinese. And oftentimes you can see them hung over doorways or usually on yellow paper as a protective charm. Let's zoom in to one of them to give you a better idea. Although they look like Chinese characters, they look like Chinese calligraphy. They're really not. They are these visionary representations of gods in this case, or other forces in the universe. Revealed to practitioners traditionally, and then handed on within priestly circles, right? So this is an example of one of the images at the top of the painting, and you can see if you look closely that there's a seal that has been added to it to sort of consecrate the object. At the center of the four talismans is an image that I'd like to zoom in on. It's a figure, but who is it? It is, in fact, Zhonghui. And I'm going to refer you to an earlier video I did a few weeks ago that discussed Zhonghui as a protective deity and some of the importance of him as represented by some Japanese prints in our collection. So please watch that other video if you want to know who Zhonghui is. But let's zoom in to this image. And we can see, unfortunately, the painting is kind of damaged here and really needs some conservation. But we can see John Quay with his bushy beard and his very particular sort of official's hat with those little things that look kind of like antennas sticking up. And he's gesturing up into the sky. But what is he gesturing at? There's a little squiggle in the upper right. That that, in fact, is a bat. And we can see a red bat motif a little more clearly in this beautiful vase that's in the Allen collection, a double gourd shaped vase. If we zoom in on the left side and below, we can see these little red bats carrying auspicious motifs in their mouths or in their claws. Why red bats? Well, the word for red bat, in Mandarin at least pronounced hongfu, is exactly the same as, sounds exactly the same as the words for abundant blessings, also hongfu. The characters are different, as you can see, but the pronunciation is the same. So this is one of many, many, many of these visual puns in Chinese where things are pronounced similarly. There's a lot of homophones in spoken Chinese. And we're going to see a lot more of these as we kind of click through the rest of the painting. Let's move on now to the next section of the painting, which is a hanging decoration just underneath the Taoist talismans. At the top of this section, we see an upside down bottle gourd. So bottle gourds have a tremendous amount of symbolism in Chinese art and culture. Let's talk about a few of them. But first of all, specifically related to the Dragon Boat Festival, it was believed that hanging a bottle gourd upside down in your home, it would absorb evil vapors that could cause illness, right? And so you would hang this up, you'd absorb those evil vapors in the gourd, and then you discard the gourd at the end of the day. Now, other symbolism of the gourd relates to the fact that the word for a bottle gourd is hulu in Chinese, and yes, that is the source of the video streaming service Hulu. That's where they got the name from because gourds were believed to have a whole magical world inside of them, and I guess that's what you get when you pay for Hulu. But the word hulu sounds like fulu, which means blessings and prosperity. At least in certain Chinese languages, they sound a lot more similar. But hulu and fulu, blessings and prosperity. So it can also symbolize that. Gourd can represent fertility or the wishes for many children or many sons because of the many seeds that are inside of the gourd. And also, another one of these visual puns, the word for vines, mandai, sounds like the words wandai, which mean 10,000 generations. So again, this wish for many offspring over 10,000 generations is also part of the symbolism of the double gourd. And in this case, you'll note that on either side of the double gourd are flowers, and they're in fact roses. The rose in Chinese, one name for rose is Changchunhua, which means the sort of eternal spring flower. So by putting roses with vines and gourds, it's a rebus that symbolizes eternal spring for 10,000 generations. Another thing that you can see hanging a little bit further down below the double gourd are snakes. Now, what are the snakes doing there? Snakes are actually one of a set of sort of evil forces or noxious creatures known as the five poisons. And that includes snakes and scorpions and centipedes and toads and spiders. And this belief that you could fight evil with evil, right? So you would hang up images of these scary creatures as a way of scaring away these scary creatures that were just sort of starting to come out at this point in the yearly cycle. We're going to look and see another one of the five poisons elsewhere in this painting. Moving on, a little bit further down in the painting, we get to this beautiful array of flowers in a vase. Flowers include the peony, sort of right in the middle, that pinkish flower, and then the red poppy. So both of these have special meanings in Chinese. One name for the peony is Fu Gui Hua, which means the flower of wealth and honor. And for the poppy, Jin Bei Hua, which means to be sort of clothed in brocade or brocade blanket. Another name, I guess, related to the beautiful colors of the flower. So put those flowers together, and it's again a rebus that suggests, may you be clothed in silk brocade and enjoy wealth and honor. Let's move down a little bit further to the very elaborate collection of objects toward the bottom of the painting. And we're going to start with the vase itself. The word for vase in Chinese is again pronounced ping, and the word for peace also pronounced ping. So a vase symbolizes peace. On the left side, we're going to zoom into this little grouping where we see a number of longevity symbols. They include the pine tree that you can see in the background. So rock, scholar's rock, rocks, also are symbols of longevity traditionally in China. And then peaches. So you see a little bag in the shape of a peach hung over the boy's shoulder. And then down below, there's another peach. Peaches were associated with there were these magical peaches of longevity that were in heaven. Of course, famously, the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, stole one of them to, became an immortal. Lots of stories about the magical peaches of immortality. But one thing that happened during the Duanjie period, the Dragon Boat Festival period, you would pack sort of protective herbs and sort of things that smelled good to keep away illness. You put it into a little bag, like a perfume bag, and you'd carry that around with you, again, to defend against these noxious forces. And so that bag in the shape of a peach, in this case, sometimes they're in the shape of a mandarin orange. Again, typical features worn by people during the festival. Other wishes that are seen at this section of the painting, of course, there's a woman and a boy. So this perhaps symbolizes wishes for a wife and son. The woman is holding what's called a ruyi scepter, and these were these objects that were that symbolize wishes for good fortune. It basically means may everything go as you desire, or may everything go as you wish. And they were these little scepters that were kind of given to people on birthdays and important occasions, and just an important symbolic object. On the right side of the painting, we see a collection of objects. One of which is an incense burner in the shape of a square ding, the ancient bronze ceremonial vessel that sort of evolved into this this incense burner function. And we actually have one in the Allen collection that will be on view when we reopen next to this painting that we're discussing today. At the top of that sort of lid of the incense burner is an image of a lion. Yes, that's a lion. Lions often look kind of like dogs in Chinese art. They didn't see a lot of lions. They don't have them in China, but they were certainly textual descriptions of lions coming from Buddhism, which came in from India. Lions, these sort of fluffy looking lions, are often protective symbols that you see in Chinese art, and also, of course, statues of lions are seen outside of the Forbidden City, of course, in Beijing, the Imperial Palace, but also in front of other important buildings. So you see a lot of lions as protective symbols in Chinese art. Down at the bottom is where things get really interesting and kind of complicated. So we see a number of things. Let's start with another of the five poisons. So this is a toad. He's kind of an angry looking toad down there on the left side. Next, we see a pomegranate. And pomegranates, like the gourd that we saw earlier, because of their many seeds, symbolized the wishes for many offspring. And there are a lot of fruits that are associated with the Dragon Boat Festival. They include cherries. You can see some cherries in the basket there. Loquats, which here kind of look like yellow cherries, and then lychees, which look kind of like giant strawberries in the painting, but those are actually lychees. So these are all fruits that were eaten, in relation to the festival. We'll also see garlic, And garlic, kind of like the sort of European tradition of garlic helping to keep away vampires and things like that. Well, garlic had a similar function in Chinese traditional thought, that it would keep away evil. And these are two little garlic buds. And then, of course, there at the bottom right, the thing that really lets you know, oh, this must be about the Dragon Boat Festival. You see zongzi, one of those, wrapped sticky rice balls that we talked about earlier. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Um, those long leaves that you see stretched out across the lower part of the painting, that's actually a sweet flag, otherwise known as calamus. And sweet was combined with mugwort around the Dragon Boat Festival for a very interesting reason. Now the mugwort, you have to search a little bit to find it, and the mugwort and the sweet flag were always together. And this is kind of one of the fun things about this painting, is it would have been a kind of a mental game, a sort of puzzle to sort of find all these different elements that people knew should be linked together, and kind of find them in the painting, like the toad and the snakes and things like that. So it would be a kind of a fun mental exercise for people. So what do the sweet flag and mugwort mean? Well, look at the mugwort. It kind of looks like a hand. The sweet flag kind of looks like a sword. And so you put those together and you get a symbol of protection, a symbol of defense. And here we have a hand with a sword, and that is in fact from a print of Jonkoi, a Japanese print by the great printmaster Kuniyoshi. And the Double Fifth Festival is also celebrated in Japan. It's something that I talk about in that video that I referenced earlier. So we began kind of with Jonkoi, and then we're coming back to Jonkoi once again in this talk. Well, that brings us to the end, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found the painting as interesting as I do, and I hope it provided a little bit of distraction for your day today. So thanks again to the Allen Memorial Art Museum and the staff there, and I hope everyone out there is healthy and taking care of yourselves. And I hope to see you in person at a Tuesday Tea in the future. Thank you very much.